I got a guitar, and I...
So you really just started in the last few years, huh? Or did you do a little bit when you were a teenager or something?
When I was in graduate school, a buddy of mine who was actually living in Palo Alto at the moment, but he, in a different story, but he, so we were, I was in medical school at the time, and he taught me, you know, G, C, D, or D.
Oh, yeah.
And and we played like Brown Eyed Girl and some songs. That was about it.
Uh-huh.
And then I, you know, just things got in the way, wife, kids,
yeah.
and all the things, and then I was, what happened? Yes, oh yeah, then so I live in Exeter. We went to Burlington, Vermont, which is a beautiful town right on the Lake Champlain, and there's some kid busking on this little walking lane, I guess. They have restaurants and that kind of a thing, and we listened to him play, and it's like, why can't I do that, you know? So she bought me my wife bought me a guitar, and then that was right when TG was starting.
Oh, really? Okay.
When I was like looking around to see what was available, and then your lessons are great, and your site was just starting up, and for $20 a month, come on, how can you beat that? I'm still paying $20 a month.
That's, you know, yeah.
Which is shocking.
There's a handful of people that are, you know, that have been around since day one, or like at least the first few months. You know, I think it was 6 months, maybe even a year that they got that rate, and yeah, that is.
What do you charge now for a month?
Now I think it's about 37. It's getting close to 40 or something.
Yeah. I'm not surprised. The higher it goes means the more demand there is, I would think, for it, which is good for you.
Yeah.
Hope not on all of us who are still.
You know, it's always weird, just like continually putting up new stuff and things. You know, I'm kind of slowing down on that a little bit now because, first of all, there's just way too much stuff up there.
There is.
You know,
if you stopped, if you stopped for a year. There's still a ton.
Don't let Matt hear this. We won't show this part. but no, I know it's, you know. But one thing that's really, I don't know if you want to use a footstool. I don't know if this helps you.
I think usually, but let's try it. Because you're learn. So one thing I'm trying to learn is really be comfortable with a pick.
So what do you do with a pick? Can you see what you're?
Well, I don't hold it the right way. You say to hold it like this, and for some reason I can't do it. So I'm still holding it like this.
Okay, with 3 fingers. Yeah, or 2 fingers.
I mean, that seems okay.
Yeah. And you know what? There are great guitar players that do that. You know, it's one of those things. A lot of the stuff that I profess or preach, maybe, really comes from things that I find work better in general, but there absolutely are exceptions. You know, and there are great players that have really bad habits, but I try to not let people have those habits. They've overcome them, and it's not, you know, like, and whether they pick constantly down or up, or if they hold the pick with, you know, their second finger or something like that. You know, a lot of as long as you don't hold it too tight and it's very loose and everything's relaxed, you can get away with that. You know, it makes it a little more difficult to do any of the kind of hybrid picking thing where you might want to use these fingers to play things. But that's right. That's what I mean. That might be a bridge to cross later, or never even worry about. Just kind of depending on. There are very few songs that you have to play with a pick and fingers that you can't play completely with fingers.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have many lessons that have that in it. The Greg Lake song, "The Sage," is one of them that is done with a pick and fingers. But if I were going to play that, like if I were going to perform it or something, I would do it without a pick. I would do it all with all fingers. Anyway.
Yeah, think of it. So I know you finger pick with your fingernails. I use the flesh of it. That's fine.
It sounds fine. Yeah, and there are, you know, a lot of finger pickers do that. Tommy Emmanuel, Lawrence Jubert, none of those guys play with nails, you know. And there's a lot of guys like Alex DeGrassi and my friend Doug, who all play with, you know, with like acrylic nails and stuff, and pretty much have built-in nails, or, you know.
Yeah, that is a thumb pick. I have not really.
Yeah.
Do that. So that actually, I play that better than I've ever played that, actually. Go figure. But I've never played.
We need your autograph for that. Yeah. A long time ago, the first time somebody told me that, I've only heard that like 5 times in my whole life of teaching, right? And the first time somebody told me that, like 20 years ago or something, I said, we got to put that down on a plaque right there, because I almost the only thing I ever hear is, "Oh, I play so much better at home."
No, I play worse at home. I'm shocked I just did that, because it doesn't sound that good.
You need a better guitar then. Look what just happened. No, not necessarily. I mean, I'm not really in the pushing guitar business.